I love them hogs. I love them hogs. I love them hogs. Yeah, I love them hogs. Sing it loud, sing it clear, all the way another year. Everybody come and sing a cheer.
I'll start off by saying I'm bored, I'm broke, and I'm back.
I'd like to welcome everybody to a Tuesday night in the sweetest, saltiest podcast basement studio in Kensington, Maryland. And we'll want to welcome at the top of the show these two fine young gentlemen sitting next to me.
We got fine.
We got young.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
too. Yes.
Mr. Tim Strachan,
What's up, man?
Mr. Bryan Stabbe.
There we are.
Tonight is dedicated to Hogs Haven. We are celebrating John Riggins. We're celebrating John Riggins beer. We're tasting John Riggins beer. We're fulfilling a by-the-numbers vow. And we're talking about all of our favorite things in what I like to think is our favorite basement on this Tuesday night episode of The Audible. I am Ken Marangolo, going freestyle with the mic.
As Joe Swanson would say, let's do it.
Let's do it. Bryan, why don't you introduce our segment and our theme?
Yeah, certainly. So, I guess a number of years ago, you started off a series about Redskins by the numbers, and it wasn't necessarily
By the jersey numbers.
by the jersey numbers. Sorry, jersey numbers, but it wasn't who's the best one at that jersey.
Yeah.
It's here's a thing that happened to me that I think about. You interviewed Tom Tupa's dad.
Tom Tupa Sr. It was a great interview. Probably my best interview.
What made it so great?
Thought I was calling Tom Tupa because it's really hard to find guys who are in like the lower numbers.
He looked him up in the phone book.
Yeah, Tom Tupa. Called Tom Tupa.
That's why they have a phone book.
Guy answers the phone. I'm like, hey, may I speak to Tom Tupa? This is Tom Tupa. I'm calling to. I was right for Hogs Haven, doing a story on Tom Tupa's career. Blah blah blah. When can I talk to you? He's like, well, I think you want to talk to my son. I'm like, well, aren't you Tom Tupa? He's like, well, I'm Tom Tupa Sr. And I was like, well, where's Tom Tupa Jr.? And he's like, well, he's not here. And I was like, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? And
So you just interviewed his dad?
So I just interviewed his dad.
Man, you just mailed that in, didn't you?
Oh, no, it was great.
No, he made
Did you
the
ever
most
think
of the
about
moment.
asking his dad for his son's number?
At that point in time, I was like on a break at work. I had a number. I was going to get content out of that number, and I did. And Kevin Ewald probably found the number. He found me lots of numbers. Todd Husak, Zendejas. I don't know. I forget some of the random people I called. But anyways, I left off at like 30 or something like that.
Yeah,
31.
you went to 32 without 32. A 31.
And then you gave up?
It just disappeared into the abyss.
Man, that's disappointing.
Well,
especially from you.
Well,
very disappointing. Kevin is very disappointing to me. But
very rarely do I not see you finish a job.
Well,
it's not. I haven't failed yet.
We're back.
Yeah, we're
on
back.
the wagon. We started.
Oh, it's a we thing now.
Yeah, now.
Reinforcements. The cavalry's here.
Ken
arrived.
Yourself.
The problem was Ken put too much on his own shoulders and was trying to do it all himself, and that's not the way to go.
No, it's not the way to do it.
So now we've put this as a call to the people being the amazing writers at Hogs Haven.
Yep.
And people have stepped up, and we started at 99, and we're kind of planning on doing 99 articles in 99 days. That didn't end up happening.
We're going to get them done.
And
we're on our way.
We've gotten some great takes. We've gotten some articles, some personal stories, and so we decided to go in a bit of a different direction for our number 44 piece. Number 44, so synonymous with a certain
Riggins.
Redskins running back.
Oh, and
are there other 44s in Redskin history?
Not since.
No, certainly not since.
Shoot. The answer to that question is got to be yes.
Is a strong maybe.
Actually, I can tell you that right this very second. But there's no other 44 for Redskins fans.
There really isn't.
There's only one retired number.
There's only one worth talking about.
It's 33.
Sorry
Sammy
for
Ball.
anybody who's a descendant of somebody who wore 44 for the Redskins in the past. But
I mean, this is something they had to have come to terms with already. Because John Riggins is number 44 for the Redskins. And he ended up, post-football, becoming kind of a man of many talents, a jack of all trades, He's in the meats industry.
These are your names, your guys who wore 44 for the Redskins from 1954. In 1954, a guy named Nick Aducci.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Have you interviewed his dad?
I haven't. 3 years prior to that, Harry Dowda, Jeff Severson, Steve Thurlow, and Moses Denson. These are the other gentlemen who wore number 44 for the Redskins from the years 1954 through 1970.
They deserve their due.
5.
They deserve their due. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
Now we can stop talking about them.
Interview their
Ever again.
descendants.
Yes, we must get the true stories.
Yeah.
Let's get to the good stuff.
All right, so Rigo is good about finding something to believe in and get behind from a marketing perspective. And when he does, it's usually a good thing. He did it for some sausage and I believe some barbecue sauce as well.
That's right. Yep.
He had a buddy who I don't know, but I met when John came through the area marketing that sausage. It was a buddy of his that I believe had a ranch. He was looking to sell a bunch of sausage, and John stepped up, and it was good. It was real good. But the beer, 4th and 1 beer, if you're a Redskins fan and you see that can, you got to make it you got to make it yours.
Yeah, and this is something that he put out about a year or two ago in a collaboration with Escutcheon Brewing. And I thought...
Escutcheon?
That's correct, yeah.
Escutcheon?
Escutcheon. We looked it up.
Escutcheon? Okay.
We made sure.
All right.
And I thought it would be fun for our continuation of the jerseys by the numbers, Redskins jersey by the numbers, to do a little tasting of this beer that is incredibly ornate from a visual perspective. The can...
Is that so cold?
The camera's too far away. We can't zoom in.
No, we'll do it in post. We got it. It's covered. I promise.
Trust me, he's gonna snip this
we're
thing
gonna-
more
it's
ways
gonna-
than he would be neutering this video before it's over.
So this came out about a year ago. It's 4th and 1 Pilsner, and as we pass this out, I'm gonna do a little reading on some of the notes that were put out by the brewery. So it says,
comes in a cool little 4-pack too.
It does, yeah. You got the tall cans here. Great visuals, great aesthetic. The text is awesome. John Riggins, Super Bowl.
Sound. Hold on.
Super Bowl MVP. There it is. Affectionately known as Riggo or the Diesel in Redskins country. He's a broadcast personality.
Shook that
and
up before you gave it to me, Bryan Stabbe.
Lifelong beer lover. Sorry. Oh, you got a little.
It's okay.
Waste not want. He helped collaborate on this beer, 4th and 1 Pilsner, which is technically speaking a German-style Pilsner brewed with only classic Pilsner ingredients. Malts used are true to style 2-row Pilsner and dextrin malt. We'll ignore all that. Hops are noble, old world hops, including German hops, Pearl, and Tettinger. I definitely said that wrong.
You can really taste the Tettinger.
You can. As well as
what I thought
the
I
Czech
tasted.
hop Saz and a water profile dialed in to have specific characteristics of mineral-rich, deep water wells found in Europe. We learned something.
Well read.
IBUs is at 38, so that means that
It's the right amount.
in terms of bitterness,
It's the right amount of
kind of low,
IBUs. It's not
but
very bitter.
tasteful. And it's a 4.4 ABV beer. It's a Pilsner, so we'll do a
Are we
little
trying
cheers
this for the
here.
first time?
Well, so
All taking
I
the first sip together?
I was-
I kind of got a little bit of foam because I opened the can with my mouth.
Okay,
I just
that's
figured
fair.
for a John Riggins beer and the fact that I'm quadriplegic, that's the way it was done.
So I was thinking we
Yes,
could do this
yes.
as I was going to follow some of the beer advocate
Okay.
steps.
I'm looking forward to tasting this beer for
Really?
the first time.
So yeah,
Okay,
we're gonna
so
we're
what
gonna
are we
walk
doing
through.
here?
We're gonna be legit. So
Never done this before.
It's fun. You know,
Okay.
well, I
Really?
mean, it depends on your definition.
Really?
But I think it's fun.
All right.
So
I think it's fun we're drinking beer that's called John Riggins 4th and 1.
it is. It's great. So
and it
that
says loosen up on it.
So
And I'm putting aside my whiskey long enough to do this. You know what I'm saying? So
I promise all of
it
that
over
will
there.
come into play.
okay, good.
So ultimately, at the end of this, we're going to come up with a rating out of 100 of sort of where we put this beer. Now, there are certain categories of what accounts for what. So first of all, appearance, so the look is 6%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some into my glass.
Why are you just doing it?
Well, because
and we're gonna look.
we're going to look. So we're going to appear. So
I was going to do it.
describe
Oh,
describe the color, clarity, and head retention.
First of all, it's got like an awesome, I wouldn't even call that a head out so much as I would call that a fro, like a Riggins fro. Like if you took the helmet off and his hair was just going all over the place, that's what that head on
I like
that.
that. I like that description.
Yeah,
That's good. The rest of it looks like pee.
yeah. Which also reminds me of John Riggins because he peed a lot. He peed during meetings.
He did.
Famously.
He did.
I believe straight up into the air and back onto himself.
All
if the
beer looks
stories
like pee.
Are correct.
So let me just set the record straight.
fortunately,
I'm not cutting on it.
this only counts as 6% of our
Okay.
total overall score.
Is this an out of 10?
6%?
No, out of 100.
Out of 100.
Oh, I give it 100.
All right, we spent a lot of time on
Well,
that.
no, we're getting there. So we'll just move on. So
it looks great.
So I think it
looks
looks golden and a little bit hazy, and you can see that it's bubbly, and there is some amber colors to it.
There are. Absolutely.
Okay, so
It's more of a golden.
all right, so golden. So those are good descriptors.
Yes.
Would you say burgundy and golden?
I would.
Yeah,
I would say that.
good tie in there. All right, so now number 2, step 2 is smell. This is 24% of your
When are we
overall
going to taste
rating.
this?
We're getting there.
Okay.
You got to all. We're using all our senses.
I honestly I haven't smelled beer much,
So describe
like intentionally.
any malts.
It's almost
hops,
ci-
yeast,
it's
or
cidery.
aromatics.
I smell like a little cider. It's an aromatic cidery.
I think Ken's right.
It is kind of sweet.
Is that the Tittinger?
It might be.
The Pearl Tittinger? I think George Patton carried a Pearl Tittinger in a holster throughout World War II.
No offense. I don't think it's a pleasant smell, but most beer isn't pleasant smelling.
So
Really stings the nostrils.
I smell that it's kind of. I get a little bit of
I'm a
caramel.
liquor guy. I like smelling liquor.
Hey, take it
and
easy
wine.
over there, okay? We're in the basement right now.
I don't even know her.
It's a little bit bready. I think
Bready.
a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
All right,
Not a
now-
ton.
Now you're just saying words and putting E on the end of it.
No. So there's there's got some wheat characteristics to it.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I can.
Maybe-
Maybe,
well-
maybe I get that.
All right. Okay.
Again, only 24% of our
Actually, I do get the
overall-
wheat.
Yeah. See, you got to just stick your nose in there,
I do. I do get it.
right?
Good call.
So you got to sort of. We're using all our senses. So we already did visuals. Now we've done smell.
We have to listen to it.
We do have. We're gonna. That accounts for like 76%.
I put the
I've never
microphone up.
listened
I'm
to
like
my
talking
beer.
into the can. Does it work if I talk into the can? If I hold them both like this, I think it works.
Strong echo. All right, now Ken.
All right.
40% is taste. So why don't we
Here.
go ahead and cheers it up? We'll cheers it up.
Can you guys hear that?
This will be my first sip.
Salo.
I thought we were doing it out of the glass.
Either one. That was more for
This was-
visual.
I thought that we were doing like a classy thing here.
However,
I've almost done
I've
this
never-
beer already, but
I'd
that's
rather
okay.
drink
it's
it
a
out of
tall
this.
beer.
You've already tasted it?
Yes, I've tasted the middle of this beer. You can't pop the pinky on a 4th and 1 beer.
I
Brian
broke
Stabbe.
my pinky. So
You
that's-
popped the pinky.
I know. I
You
can't-
broke your pinky
That's tasty.
years ago. So
when you tried out for the Valor.
That's tasty.
no, that's incoming. Isn't it tasty?
It is tasty.
I think it tastes
Tastes better than it smells.
All right. So
Incredibly
taste. Describe any malts, hops,
sassy,
fermentation byproducts, finish, aftertaste, or flavor characteristics.
unpretentious.
It's actually lighter than I thought.
That's great.
it's unpretentious.
Yeah, it's light.
That's in line with that.
So as we said, it was only a 4.4 ABV.
I'm
so
going to grade that down a little bit. I'd like to see I want to see more than a 7 or an 8. Again, I mean, it doesn't. It's sitting next to this glass of
true. So
Bushmills.
I mean, I think it's clean. I think it's pretty crisp.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not. It's smooth.
I mean, you can barely taste the alcohol. This is like 40% alcohol, maybe 45% alcohol. I mean, this is only 4%. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's subtle. I think it's
4% is subtle.
earthy.
You're sneaking in. You can sneak in. You know, you can be like Todd from Wedding Crashers, sneaking in, jumping out of the closet. That's subtle. You like that, T?
That's good beer.
I can see you're feeling it. You're feeling this beer right now.
Well, I'm almost. It's almost gone.
I'm going. I can go for it on 4th down with this beer. So, all right. So, favorite John Riggins moment. Do you have one, Brian? How old were you when he?
Are you going to
him
eliminate?
up.
Are you going to eliminate one?
No. Yeah, we're eliminating the one that's on the can.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean,
We always eliminate something. We have to eliminate that.
that's like the most iconic
Yeah.
moment in franchise history, right?
The most iconic moment in franchise history.
Mm-hmm. Single moment. I think it has to be that John Riggins run.
It has to be it has to be in the Super Bowl. So the only other contenders could be Timmy Smith as a contender. It could be.
It is the image of the Redskins' history.
I'm trying to think of something that is in the same category. I don't disagree with what you're saying. What's the iconic moment from '91? I mean, you got Rippin. There's nothing. Bright with the terrible halftime show. No, it's definitely 4th and 1.
There have been bad.
4th and 1 in the Super Bowl, and you take it to the house. Beat that.
I don't even know why you tried to think of something else.
I'm just trying. I want to give the Redskins their due because they have been in the championship game a number of times. It's worth looking under the couch
Blowouts.
cushions for a quarter or two.
Blowouts.
Yeah.
Absolute blowouts. This was a needed. This is the game online.
It's a big can too,
As it should be.
as it should be.
For the diesel.
When in the 5 o'clock club, which we also do on Hogs Haven on the daily. Thank you to Bill in Bangkok for putting that together each day, and who also took on something that I started and bit off more than I could chew. A daily post that engages the Hogs Haven regulars. Great job, Bill. And the 5 o'clock club is named after a group of guys who drank beer every day in a shed after work, and John Riggins was part of that. And I've seen these guys in action. Now, I haven't seen them with tall boys like this, although I'm sure they would drink tall boys if provided. But the cool thing about watching those guys, Russ Grimm, Joe Jacoby, Jim Lachey, Jeff Bostic, just watching them start to get after it, loosen up, put on some casual clothes, 3 beers, in hand. 2 in one hand, 1 in the other. 1 open. It's an operation. Now I know also part of that was the party. It's like when you have a wedding. This was at the Hall of Fame post induction to Russ Grimm, where they had a 5 o'clock club bar. But it's like your wedding where someone's going to bring you your drinks. You're getting a lot of them. I mean, these guys were chain drinking cans of beer. This is
Very shotgunnable.
It's very
This beer?
drinkable.
It's very drinkable.
Yeah, super drinkable.
Period. Yeah, exactly.
So there are 2 more categories. The first one for the beer is, it sounds silly, mouthfeel. How does it feel in your mouth?
Mouthfeel. It
Yep.
actually.
Is it bubbly? Is it
You know
flat?
what? It sounds weird when you ask that question, but that
Mouthfeel.
was the first thing when it was in my mouth. Is that it was? I liked. It's not.
All right, Brian, sit back for a little bit so I
It's
can.
not. It's
so I
not
can-
harsh
and
on the tongue.
pull
It's
that
not
to you.
harsh on the palate. It's actually it's a pretty smooth beer.
It's very smooth. I was gonna say it's fruit. There's fruit in my.
I don't know what
On
it
my
is.
palate.
I can't. I don't really get the fruit, but I do feel and taste the wheat, smell and taste the wheat, sort of.
I taste some
But
cowbell.
it's not a harsh. There's some beers you put in your mouth and you take that first sip and it's like.
There's a lot of cowbell
No, this
in
is
this beer.
this is a refreshing beer.
It is refreshing.
It is.
It's not shandy-esque. I mean, I don't.
No.
There's
a
nothing on
beer.
this thing that suggests there's any citrus or
Nope.
any kind or cider, whatever. And that's Pearl Tittinger is also present in other drinks that we know about. We're getting
I
to
think the
bottom of
most
this.
accurate thing that was said was unpretentious.
It's very unprotected.
This beer
Mine's gone.
to me is
There's some in your cup.
It's delicious.
representative.
have some in my cup.
It's emblematic of what I think of John Riggins as a player, as being, as like a guy, as being, and then you guys have had the good fortune of being able to meet him.
Yes.
And I feel
And
as
drink beer with him.
Multiple-
he
multiple times.
doesn't seem fake at all. Like he's what you see is what you get, right?
No. He is not putting on an act or a facade for anybody.
The least
No.
fake person. I mean,
Which is what is so endearing about the man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about other images? Like one of my favorite images is him is when he's announced coming out of the locker room and you ran straight to the bench and would put oxygen on. That was John Riggins.
or for the 70
You know?
greatest Redskins team, you had all these old guys being announced, and they had their leather jackets and jeans. Guys from all the way back that came out that were announced at halftime. They announced Joe Theismann, and then the last guy they announced was John Riggins, and he comes out in full game attire, cleats, pants with pads, jersey, shoulder pad, helmet, and he runs out of the tunnel fully dressed like John Riggins. The freaking place went nuts. There haven't been many moments like that for Redskins fans since the Redskins won the Super Bowl, and John Riggins provided it as an old man dressing up like John Riggins and running out of the tunnel. And Joe Theismann would always say, he famously turns to John, he's like, dude, like, seriously? Like, all these little guys. And he's like, why'd you, like, what, no, why did you do that? And Joe Theismann says, John looked at me, he's like, I just had to hear that crowd one more time. And it's just so, and he knew, I mean, you do that, you're getting it from us. I mean, he's our boy, and it makes me tingle right now. Maybe it's just beer. I don't know. Maybe it's the Pearl Tittinger tingling.
It's the hops and malt.
That 4.4 is getting to you, dude.
It's the IBUs. It's the hop malt balance.
You add them up, you're having 44.4.
What else do we have to rate? Do we have to rate anything else?
No, that's it. So overall, what's your experience? What is this a beer you would drink again?
I mean, a championship. I'm gonna
like any other experience I've ever had with John Riggins.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Man, hey, you know what? To JR 44.
Yeah, we'll cheers to that.
Let's cheers to that. Come on.
Cheers to that.
And reestablishing something great about our current team that will tie back to this. Hopefully, maybe we'll be enjoying this at the Super Bowl party. We got one left. We'll save it.
Mine.
Well, it's yours.
All right. Well, we want to appreciate John Riggins beer, 4th and 1 from.
I want to appreciate John Riggins.
Escutcheon. We'll get it right one of these days.
Not sponsored, but if they want to, we'll let them.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure they have other things that need to be tasted. Products, edible, drinkable. Let's take it easy over there, Tim Strachan.
Hey, he's fine.
Okay, he's doing all right.
Yeah. I wasn't listening to him.
It would have been nice.
I tuned him out again.
For that to be drinking by Kevin Ricca, but we'll wait. We'll
save
the
for
fourth one for him.
We'll save the fourth one for him. Brian, I think this satisfies the number 44.
Certainly.
To the Hogs Haven folks out there, we appreciate you. Welcome to our basement corner, virtual reality angle. I mean, we're going to work on. If you wore the glasses, this whole segment will just look crazy to you. We're working on the glasses. On behalf of Tim Strachan,
I appreciate it, man.
Brian Stabbe.
Wonderful as always.
I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the Audible.
Hot route! Red 7! John!
What? Will you just go stand on the other side, please?